Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for coming back to my Python 3 for Beginners tutorial series. In this video, we're going to learn how to take multiple strings and put them together, and we're also going to learn what lists are and how to use them. So the first thing we're going to do is create two variables here, each with a different string. So if I put a variable called first name equals Fred and last name equals Rogers, then these are two separate variables, and we have the variable first name and the variable last name. So now if I want to use the print function here, I can put first name plus last name, and when I run it, it's going to put Fred Rogers. Now you're going to notice it did all one word because there's no space in here. So what I could do is I could just add a space like that to make it easy, and it'd be Fred Rogers. But a lot of times that's not what we're going to do with a variable. We're going to just have the variable like that without a space in front of it. So what we can do is we can tell it to do a space and then add the last name. And now you'll see it added that space and has Fred Rogers as it should be. Now, let's take this a step further. I can add strings and variables all on the same line. So if I wanted to put first name, now one thing you will do here is, because you are building this into this line that you're printing, you will put a space right there because it's not part of the variable, it's actually part of the print function. So I can put first name, and then I put plus, and this plus is very important. So because I'm ending this string and moving on to the variable, I closed the quotes right there. Now I'm telling it, okay, print first name plus print the variable Fred plus, now I can do another string here. I can put a space and put last name because you'll need a space between the first name and the last name. So, or between the first name and where it starts saying last name, and you'll need another space between the colon and the last name. So what I'm telling it is, here's a string, first name, so I close the quotes, plus I want to print this variable first name, Fred, plus I want another string within these quotes to say last name, plus I want it to also print the variable last name. Now let's run this, and this is first name Fred, last name Rogers. See that? Pretty cool. Now let's move on to something called lists. Let's say you were working for a school district and you were writing a Python program that needed to track the amount of students in, let's say, the 12th grade class, and let's say there were 5 12th grade classes. So you could put students equals. Now the important thing with the list is you have to put these in brackets. If you're familiar with any other programming languages, kind of like PHP, it looks kind of like an array. Here it's called a list in Python, and we're going to want 5 different numbers. So we're going to put 5 integers in here, and we can put how many people would be in the class. So let's put 72, 69, 71, 70, and 74. And then I can print, students just like I normally would. And you'll see it actually prints it as a list with the square brackets around it and everything. And just like a string, I can also pick out which individual one I want it to print. Now remember, computers start counting by 0, not 1, so this will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I wanted to print out 71, I would put 0, 1, 2, so I would put 2 here. And it prints 71. Now lists are important. You're going to find as time goes on when you program These are things that you're actually going to be using from time to time for many different things. This is just a simple example of it to teach you how to do it. But just like with strings, if you wanted a starting point and an ending point, you can do the same thing. So if I want to do, let's say I'll do 0, and I want it to end at 0, 1, we'll have it end at 3. But remember, it doesn't include 3. It's just telling it when you get to 3, stop. So it's only going to print 0, 1, and 2. So when I run it, I see 72, 69, and 71. Now let's say I have this list, and I want to change. Let's say I want to change 1. So what I can do is I can put students 1 equals, and I can change that number to 70. Let's say they had a new student come in and it gets added to that class. So now I put run, and when I print it out with the print function here, it shows 70. Now something else I can do is I can make a second list. Let's say I wanted one that also had to do with the juniors, so I can put 11th, we'll just put 11th grade. We won't do that actually. Variables need to start with letters, not numbers. I forgot to mention that. So we will put junior, we'll just put juniors equals, and in the square brackets, let's say they have 4 junior classes, and they're going to be 68, 69, 70, and 71. I can then print this list. If I just print students plus juniors, if I wanted them to be together, oops, square brackets. And it gave me a syntax error. What did I do here? Let's see. Okay, I see what I did. And as a programmer, you're often going to run into this no matter how long you're programming. It could be you know multiple languages and you accidentally kind of mixed the two together in your mind, or you just simply made a mistake. In this case, I see what I did. I didn't need the brackets here, and I can merge these two lists together. So I can print, if I wanted to print the students in the senior class and I wanted to print the students in the junior class, I could just put students plus juniors. And now it adds those together as 2 lists. It takes 2 lists rather and makes it 1 list right down here, and it would let me know each one in the same order as if they are here. So at 74, when 74 ends, that ends the students, or the seniors in this case, and I'll start adding the juniors to 68, 69, 70, 71. Now we can also do multiple, if we wanted to do, let's say, we wanted to change multiple numbers here for the juniors, and we wanted to start here with 0 and 1 that we want to change, so we'll stop it at 2. So what we'll do is we'll do juniors equals, juniors 1:3, oops, equals, let's see, we'll do 69 and 70. And if we print juniors now, wow, I really can't type today. So it prints out, okay, so it didn't print the right thing, and I was a little confused there for a second, but again, as a programmer you can make an error. But now what's different with this error that I made is everything was okay syntax wise, so Python didn't notice that there was an error. The error I made was I wanted to actually change 0 and 1. By putting the 1 there, it didn't do what it was supposed to. That was supposed to be a 0. So now if I run it, you'll see I changed the value 0 to 3. So it stops at 3. So remember, it's going to go 0, 1, 2, and stop at 3. And I changed it to 69, 70, and 71. Now, here's something else I can do. If I wanted to just delete those, I won't put any numbers in there at all. And it'll just show 71 because I took out 68, 69, and 70. And actually, because I was supposed to do 0, 1, 2, when I was adding the numbers, I should have had a third number in there, which is why it only printed 3 instead of 4, because it actually took away the one number. So if I wanted to go back and do that again, I could do 69, 70, 71, and then it should have 71 in there twice. See, so because I only put 2 numbers in last time, like this, that's why I printed 69, 70, 71, because it actually was taking out the original 70 and just adding the new one. So that's lists for you. These are going to come in handy with many different things over the years in programming, especially with Python. And I would encourage you at this point, because you've been through now variables, integers, strings, and now lists, work on your own. You don't have to just do just what I show you. Start trying to mess around and see what you can come up with on your own, and just play with it. And that's sometimes how you learn best, is just by doing it and just by trying new things on your own and seeing what you can figure out. Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.